Welcome to 2023 and January. A lot of things happen in January. One of those, some of those include dry January, where my husband and I specifically do dry January every year as a reset from all of the holiday debauchery that happened in December. And by the way, all of the things that we've done throughout the year, over the weekends and other holidays and vacations and things like that. We've just added so much, especially in the way of alcohol, to our systems that come January, quite honestly, we are ready to take a break and just reset everything, kind of detox our systems, if you will. And that's why a lot of people do it. What I wanted to do today, though, was to have a little conversation with you about the one thing that no one really talks about, because I've seen a lot of it. I've definitely seen a lot on GMA. We check in with that pretty much every morning. He does, and I catch it, as I'm moving about the house. But I've seen a lot of spots, especially on the morning shows, about dry January and those kind of things. And I want to share my insights with you today, having been through a few rounds of this, and also being a life coach who understands how to help people who are not addicted to alcohol. Let's make that very clear. I am not talking about someone who is physically dependent on alcohol. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the weekend warriors, if you will. I'm talking about, the 2 glasses of wine every evening, if you will. Those, and what I just described that my husband and I go through just on any given year, just the things that we go through. So we end up feeling pretty awful after the holidays. I'm just speaking from my personal experience, but I know that a lot of people out there say the same thing. So this is what we're doing. We're talking about moderate to maybe a little heavy drinking, but not necessarily daily, and certainly not physically dependent. And so when it comes to dry January, what you will see on these morning shows, on these other places, is recommendations, for example, what drinks to replace with, what to say at a party, or how to navigate and how to handle questions and things like that, which it's becoming more, if you will, mainstream. I hear a lot about it every year, more and more every year. I think more and more people kind of jump on this January reset bandwagon. And especially if you do make resolutions. I am not a resolution person. I am a word person, and my word, by the way, is magic. Okay. I'm a word person, and I like to use that to carry me through every day of the year, and not even when I can set goals, not set small goals, but just to set one blanket goal for the end of the year to say, I'll lose weight, for example, or I'll quit drinking, for example. I find it better to break it down into bite-sized pieces and smaller, more practical, more attainable goals. And especially if it comes to something like this, if you do want to make your resolution or goal for 2023 to be sober, then wonderful. If you would like a reset, wonderful. Either way, dry January will work for that. It really will. But I want to talk about the things that no one else talks about. And before I go there, I want to also add a couple more reasons why people dig into dry January. It's not just to feel better, all of that. I mean, it is to feel better. Let me get to that here in just a second. Lose weight, other health reasons. For example, my gut feels like a hot mess right now. So, I just want my gut to feel better. So, that is my physical health. I'm not I don't have a doctor telling me that. I'm not, doing that. And better sleep, those are the things that I hear, although the moon is messing with me right now and I'm not sleeping well at all. But that's another thing. That is an aside. And also to lift the brain fog. For me, that is a big thing. It's the gut and the brain. Ooh, and did you know, by the way, that your gut is your second brain? It's all connected. It's all connected. So my whole nervous system, everything in there is a little out of whack, and I need to feel better about that. And the brain fog comes in when we do what I described, like what, my husband and I do and that kind of thing. Obviously, we know it takes us a little while to recover. We're not in our 20s anymore. But sometimes it takes a little longer and it really messes with you. Like it can be even now, we're on the fourth day of January, I think. And so this would actually be my day 3. But even now, I still feel a little foggy 3 days in. And so I recognized that, okay, so any given week, I would actually feel that way, that I wouldn't necessarily start feeling right until around midday on a Wednesday, right? And then maybe Thursday evening, I'd start drinking again, for the weekend. Just start a little early, have a couple of glasses Thursday night and then Friday, and. So, but that just kind of causes that fog, and we just need more clarity, right? We do. We need more clarity around that one thing. That one thing. We want to feel better. We want to feel better. And we don't necessarily recognize that our choices are not making us feel better. They're making us feel worse, right? That's not the way to feel better. It's feel better in the moment. Yes, in the moment. Ooh, numb those feelings right away. I don't want to feel that. Do not let me feel that emotion right now. No anxiety today. Thank you very much. Give me a bottle of wine instead. Okay. And we think that makes us feel better by numbing away our emotions and thinking that we can just escape. It's our escape. It is. It is. And it might not even be alcohol for you, by the way. You can replace dry January, can apply to whatever you want to be dry from, if you will. Maybe you want to, watch your sugar. Maybe you want to eat less overall. Maybe you want to just do something different. Maybe you want to eliminate carbs or, gluten or something of that nature, or dairy. Maybe you want to eliminate something. So that means you will be dry from it for 4 weeks. Right? And understanding also that, but alcohol specifically is what takes us out of our bodies, out of our feelings, 100%. It's the quickest way, honestly, I think. For some of us, it is the quickest way. Now, no one talks about how to manage the cravings themselves without substance, right? So as we go through this, like I haven't, again, on day 3, I told you how I felt. I'm not having cravings at all, but I know they're coming. I know they will eventually kick in, probably when the weekend comes around the time that the weekend hits, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I know you all are like, you start your weekend on Thursday? Okay. No, I don't. But every now and then, I would start having a couple of glasses of wine on a Thursday night. And so eventually my weekend would extend to 4 days. So there you have it. 4 days a week drinking and 3 days abstaining. That doesn't feel good. After a while, that simply does not feel good. So you have trained your brain to respond every time that there is a craving. I mean, it's like, Pavlov's dogs, okay? Like it's the bell, right? That bell is ringing, and you may see something or think of something or a place or a person or something, and you get that trigger, and it's like, oh, I need a drink right now. And we are a nation of right freaking now. We want it on demand. We want what we want. We want it now, especially if it's our self-soother, especially if it's our version of a binky, right? It's like, okay, what do I need to do to feel better? What do I need to do to feel better? Give me that drink or that donut. Could be a donut. It could be, and it's okay. It's okay. No one's judging anyone. What I'm here to help you with and share with you is how to sit with your feelings and to expect that you are going to have a lot of emotions. You know why you're going to have a lot of emotions? Because you've been numbing them out. You've been numbing them out. That goes back to that brain fog that I was telling you about earlier. So it isn't just like that you're a little slower, you know, to think of things. It isn't only that. It is also we've numbed out our emotions and our capacity to honestly feel all of the range of emotions. It's so interesting. I'm watching the Brene Brown uh, series on HBO Max that is Atlas of the Heart, I believe. I believe that is the name of it. I know that's it's the same as her book. I'm just going off from memory right now. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet, but she starts off by talking about the studies that have been done with just emotions and just our language around emotions and even our ability to express what we are feeling. What are we feeling? What is this called? What is this called right now? We've numbed all that out. We've numbed it, or we've ignored it, or we've just done everything we could to avoid thinking about it. Well, let me distract myself onto something else. Okay, I'm starting to feel this way. You know, if you're not reaching for whatever your choice is, then you may even just avoid it altogether, right? So I want you to really think about this. What Brene said is through their research, through their studies, they found that the majority of people could only identify when they're talking about the emotions that they feel on any given day or through any situation, right? Is happy, sad, or pissed off. Three emotions. And there are so many more. There are so many more than that, obviously. But we're not letting ourselves feel them. The other thing that I want to share with you ever so quickly is like anxiety. That's what, you know, I think I just mentioned anxiety as an example. Like, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that. The thing is, if you do allow yourself to feel it, if you allow, usually it shows up for me as like butterflies, you know, and in my gut, or, you know, and my heart beats a little faster or something like that, right? The difference in the way that your body feels between the emotions of excitement and anxiety are minute. They are minute. So I just want to think about that. Not the first person who has said it. There are tons of people out there who've said it, but especially those of you who are in fact trying to numb out anxiety, I want you to remember that, hey, you know what? This could be excitement. Maybe I'm excited to get up on stage in front of all these people. I mean, maybe that's an exciting thing. And my brain just doesn't understand what my body's processing because I've been so detached for so long. That's what we're doing. We're detaching from ourselves and we're taking ourselves away. And again, it's okay. I've done it a lot. I have over the years. But knowing that there are that whole range of emotions, but when you learn how to feel them, really feel them in your body, feel them, identify them, and allow them to be there. Usually about 90 seconds is all it takes, right? It takes about 90 seconds. And that will blow people's minds. It blew my mind in the beginning, right? Honestly, I just got off of being coached myself through something. And when my coach walked me through actually feeling and processing through that emotion, it was like, whew, gone. It's gone now. And I don't even have to think about it anymore, right? I don't have to think about that incident that I wanted to be coached on. I don't need to think about the voices, that the inner voice, the inner mean bitch that's coming out and saying, you know, you're a dumbass. You know, a lot of times the only way that I could get that voice to be quiet was to have a drink or two, and just get in that state of, oh, okay, all right, now I'm better, because I feel nothing, absolutely nothing. I'm just here. I'm just here, just being detached. So I want you to, and that brings up another thing too. I talked about, Brené's notes, but also remember a TikTok that I saw last year through Dry January that my husband shared with me around this time. It was so freaking hilarious. Oh my gosh, this guy hit the nail on the head. I can't remember. I couldn't find it. So I cannot remember his name, but oh my gosh, you all, he ends it, with saying, hey, yeah, I'm looking forward to Dry January, looking forward to the good parts of Dry January, like losing some lbs, getting better sleep, blah blah blah. And but then he gets to the very end and he's like, there are a few things that I'm not looking forward to, like facing my inner demons, because I haven't seen them in a while and they like to tussle. And I just roared. Was like, oh, yes, 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 they do. Expect it. Expect it. Expect your emotions to be heightened, because you're not numbing them. Expect them to be there, and understand that a craving is really just something that you have trained your body to desire. This, it's like, oh, remember, we're supposed to, it's 5 o'clock somewhere now and it's that time. Remember, we're supposed to do that. Oh, wow. You know, that's where willpower is, where a lot of people will take you, use willpower, call someone, go to a meeting, that kind of thing. What I would advise you to do is allow it, sit with it, because what comes with a craving, what comes with the denial of a craving, for example, or, no response to it, but just sitting with it. You don't answer it. It's a call that doesn't get answered. What happens to it when you try to resist it? What happens when you try to resist it and say, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, is it just causes you far more energy than it would to just sit with it. When you do not answer, when you do not respond to a craving, then what it is going to tell your body is that, oh, we don't, oh, oh, okay. And what comes with that is the feeling or the emotion that is typically aligned with a craving, or the thought of depriving yourself, is that it's like, it's deprivation. I don't want to deprive myself, and I shouldn't deprive myself, right? I deserve this. I've worked hard today, So that is what you really don't want to sit with. The craving is just your body's response saying, oh, you've trained it this way over so long that it's like, I need this. Hello, I need it. And you're saying, oh yeah, I mean, I don't want to feel deprivation. That feels like an emptiness, feels like a void that I need to fill, right? When in reality, it takes about 90 seconds to leave. 90 seconds. You practice it enough, and you feel your feelings. I'm telling you, the magic, that is where the magic happens. That is my word, my friends. That is my word. The magic that happens when you create new habits, and that detachment from the old is replaced with a fullness, a completeness, and a wholeness that I wish for you in 2023. Dry January is not that difficult on its surface, but it is a roller coaster of emotions. And I'm here for you. All right. Talk to you soon.